Hi friends, I've got a few minutes. I'm trying to stay calm because again I'm rushing. I've got to try to do a follow-up session last minute. I'm trying to squeeze it in. So I have the timer set for 20 minutes and we will see how much I can get in. So we're not going to do our weekly guidance this week because Sunday is our private live stream. So if you want to participate in the private live stream this Sunday, there's still a few spots available. We normally have 3 people that are regulars that are all out of town this weekend. So there are still spots for you if you want to join, grab a seat with us. You will get a private reading during the live stream. Hi, Janet. Anyway, so we're not going to do our weekly guidance this week because we have the private live stream event on Sunday. But I did promise I would come back and talk about the past lives a little bit. But first, I want to talk about the recent energy shift. I did just make a post on my page, Jory's Numerology Chat, about the recent energy shift. So it'll all be in writing and I'll try to link it in the comments for you guys to read the details. But just to go over it briefly, we've shifted to the energies of 3 and 6. Now we're already in a 3-year. I'm sorry, there's like a hair stuck on me. There we go. 2019 is a 3-year. So we've got double 3 energy, and 3 is actually my favorite energy because it's really lighthearted and optimistic and creative and really has like a don't worry, be happy attitude. So hopefully you guys are feeling some of that energy seeping in. Let me grab a quick drink. It's also the energy of speaking your truth. So I call it liquid courage energy because it really inspires you to say, I don't want to say what's on your mind. I'd rather say what's on your heart, because it's really important that we don't come from our ego. I did mention this in the post. We want to make sure we're thinking before we're speaking. Hi, Anitza. Hi, Wendy. So we want to make sure we're speaking. We're thinking before we're speaking. We want to make sure we're coming from a place of our hearts and not from a place of ego, which is judgment and blame. The 6 energy is family and nurturing and romance and responsibilities. It's much more grounded than the energy that we were in last month, which is 5. So I don't know if you guys felt some of that 5 energy last month. It was very much up and down, roller coaster highs and lows, flip-flopping back and forth, a lot of fickle and uncertainty and just no grounding whatsoever. So hopefully you're starting to feel now with the 6 energy more settled and more calm. With the 5, for me, I had a struggle because it's an overindulgence energy, and I was just, because I already love food as it is because I am a 5. So I'm actually excited to have that tempered a bit because that was getting a little crazy. So what else about the 6 and the 3? 3 and 6 are very creative, very much people energy, so socializing and connecting with others. And overall, it's just a very calm combination and gentle. I love it. Now, I did make a post for you guys a couple days ago asking you if you felt the shift. And it was interesting to hear your feedback. So a lot of you said that you felt tired, and that's definitely part of the 3 and 6 because 3 can feel lazy and relaxed, and 6 kind of has that sluggish couch potato lethargic energy. So if you're feeling that, there's a couple things you can do. If you have a house vibration chart, you can change your house to something that will inspire more productivity and more energy. I like to use the flower essences, the Bach flower essences for energy. I also like to use superfoods for energy like maca powder. There's things that you can do to combat some of that sluggish, lazy feeling. Now, also, some of you were not feeling that happy, joyful energy, which this double 3 can definitely inspire. And that's why I felt like I needed to come on, because I wanted to tell you that it's so important to understand not just the universal energies, and that's what I've been referring to this whole time I've been talking about 3 and 6, to understand your personal month and year energies. Because I'll give an example. Even though this combination is more of a relaxed energy, universally, my personal month energy is very much about hard work and productivity this month. So I don't really have as much of that feeling of I can relax because I'm in an energy, it's almost like a workaholic energy. So my day today has been nonstop. So that's why it's important to know what your personal energies are. And the way that you can find out your personal month and personal year energies is through a 2019 personal year forecast. And the sooner you get one, the better, because you're getting all 12 months. So it's a better value the earlier on in the year that you get one. So it goes from January to December, and it's going to tell you a little bit about the year that you're in as far as the theme that you're in. It's also going to tell you the theme of each month and what you can expect, what you might feel. So that will really help you. If you're not feeling some of these universal energies and you're confused about what you are feeling, that will give you some clarity. So that's the 2019 personal year forecast. I'll link it in the comments. All right, now we're going to talk a little bit about past lives. Hi, Shane. Hi, Jamie. Oh, good. You feel a major shift. Yay. Okay, deadline. Oh, I don't know what that means. Okay, but I like it. All right, so we're going to talk about past lives just a little bit because that has been just so consistently coming through in my sessions. It seems like every session I'm doing, there's a past life component that's coming through. So this must be the time to clear that out. And I do feel, especially with the one past life I mentioned on Sunday's weekly guidance, I can see how critical it was, because when we are in this process of ascension and lightening up and becoming more of our authentic self, we have to remove these blocks. We have to clear out the past. We have to clear out the things that are holding us back. And a lot of times these are unconscious, subconscious, whatever. These are things that we're not really aware of that are holding us back. And so that's why I believe some of this past life stuff is coming through. Now, on the flip side, for the positive aspect of the past lives, there may be things that you are meant to do in this life that you need that boost of tapping in, crossing, it's called cross-connecting to another incarnation that can help you, can feed you energy as far as feeding you insight and feeding you knowledge and abilities that you may not have established in this life. So talents, my son is an amazing piano player who taught himself within 1 week when he was like 10 years old. And it turns out he does have a connection to a famous pianist, a parallel incarnation, we'll say. So let me go back to the past lives and give you a couple examples, because what we had talked about in my post was phobias and birthmarks and how they can be related to your past life. So I'm going to give you an example of two of my very strange phobias, but once I realized this was for me proof of past lives. So we'll put it that way, because my mentor Lynn, who's since crossed over back into non-physical, she did past life readings. So when I found out about this stuff, I was just learning about past lives, and this example I'm going to give you just proved to me, wow, okay, past lives. Whoa, this is a legitimate situation here. So I had Christy, I'm so glad you're on. Hold on, let me get a drink. Christy, this is especially good for you to hear because we have similar phobias. I had a very strange phobia of dead fish. You heard me right. Not live fish. I could go to an aquarium, but dead fish, especially dead silverfish. And I would be afraid to go into a pet store because I would be afraid of seeing a fish floating on the water, just lying there dead in the water. That was like the freakiest thing for me. It would upset me so much. And I say that I had fish shoes. I still won't get near fish as far as eating them or anything, but I don't eat animals. So, but my family liked to cook fish, and there would be like fish skin in the sink. And I remember once I looked in the sink. I didn't know there was a fish skin in the sink, and I screamed as if I was being murdered. I am not kidding you. I screamed. See, Chrissy jumps when she sees dead fish. Oh my God. Okay. So I had done a lot of past life work with Lynn, but I remember thinking, now this is going to be so freaking interesting. What the heck? What is she going to possibly come up with? Why would I be afraid of a dead fish? Like, seriously, why would I be afraid of a dead anything? It can't hurt me, right? Okay, so what happened is she did my past life reading. I read it and I went, holy crap. Oh my God. So it turns out that I was a young girl, about 6 or 8 years old, and this was on a Polynesian island, and the volcano had erupted. but nobody knew that the volcano had erupted. And so the first sign that the volcano had erupted was that the heat and the water boiled and killed the fish. So I was on this island as a young girl, and there were dead fish everywhere. And by that time, there was no way for us to get off the island. So one of the last, I'm getting chills talking about it. One of the last things that I saw before I died in that life, before I drowned, or I don't even know exactly, I can't remember how she said I died. I think I was drowned, but I don't remember the details on that. I'm sorry. This was a long time ago. But the point is that there was sheer terror and panic amongst all the islanders, and we obviously died. And so my last vision was these dead fish everywhere. And I therefore associated the dead fish with death and terror and panic, looming death, imminent death. So that really blew my mind, because I remember, like I said, thinking, how is she going to come up? If she's making this up, which I know she wasn't now, because this is the stuff I do now. And I know she wasn't then too, but I thought, if she's making up stories, then how is she going to ever conjure up a story about me and a dead fish, and how a dead fish would be threatening? Well, this blew my mind. It really did. And ever since I read that, I'm able to handle this so much better. It's not the same. The phobia doesn't feel as much like a phobia. Now, I have another story. I don't have the details as much because I don't remember it, and I'm sorry. But I had a thing where I could not touch unfinished wood. My whole body would go into chills. So I remember I had a wooden spoon, and I had to tape the handle of the wooden spoon in order to use it. So it's all coming back to me here. So it turns out that I have a past life in Egypt where I was buried alive in a wooden box. And so the last thing I felt before I died was my hands on the lid of the wooden box, just trying to get out. So you can imagine how me touching the wood would totally freak me out. And what's even more fascinating about that life is there was someone that was out to get me. It was a competitive situation, so they buried me. And it's like hard to even talk about it. But so I was in a grocery store with my family, and a woman came up to us, and I was introduced to her as if this was a family friend, an acquaintance. And I remember I had my cart, and I did like a Yui. I just turned around and walked away, like so rude. It's like, hi. No, just walked away into just as far as I could to the other side of the grocery store. The minute I laid eyes on this person, I just had to walk away. And what I found out later was that was the person in that life that was jealous and threatened, and it was a competitive situation. And that was the person who was responsible for my death, who put me in that wooden box. And that's why I had that aversion immediately to this person. And still, every time that I've had to interact with this person, I can't. It's just this insane, static, vibrational discord. It's awful. Anyway, so that's two examples of very strange phobias that I had that were related to past lives. So I know you guys listed your phobias. I have a friend who had a phobia of pigeons so bad, and we have a lot of pigeons around here, that she had she kept water bottles in her car to throw at the pigeons. If she pulled up in a parking spot and there were pigeons in the parking lot, she would throw the water bottles at the pigeons. Because she was so deathly afraid of the pigeons. And I never got to find out what the past life was. All I can think about was maybe it was like a carrier pigeon had delivered some really bad news to her, so she had this association with pigeons and, horrible things. That's all I can think of. I don't know for sure. I never tapped into her, and I don't talk to her anymore, so I can't really tell you because I can't channel that information. But that's my theory. As far as birthmarks go, Sylvia Browne has a book, I think it's called Past Lives, Future Healing. And she talks about how people can have birthmarks that were indicative of how they died or were injured in a past life. And my son has like an almond-shaped birthmark on his shoulder, and it looks just like an arrowhead shape. And it turns out when I was doing the past life work with my mentor, Lynn, that's exactly what that was. So if you have a strange birthmark, that could be related to a past life. There's also something called cell memory, where you can be walking along, everything's hunky-dory and fine, and then you become the age or the time when the past life had some traumatic experience, and you can all of a sudden feel that, or it could change your reality, or you can have a phobia that you didn't have before because of something that your past life experienced at that age. And I had a situation, remember, they're really parallel incarnations. I don't want to go into the mechanics and the technical stuff, guys, because it's very confusing for a lot of people. But because everything is here and now, everything's actually happening now, even if it's in a past setting, it's confusing. I had a situation where I was driving down the freeway and I felt a thump on the back of my head. And I felt like I hit the concrete, even though I was still in the car. And I remember talking to my mentor then, and she said, one of your incarnations was on a motorcycle and felt, was in an accident and, hit his head and he just died. So that was really interesting too. Anyway, guys, I haven't even read your comments. Oh, it is funny, Jamie. Okay. Anyway, so that's the past life information. What else did I want to tell you? That might be it. I feel like I had more to tell you guys. Crap. I don't know. Anyway, if you're curious about your past lives, if you feel like there's something that you need to know, it's certainly something we can discuss in a private session. It's been coming through so strong. Hi, Lori. Yay. If you want to learn more about your personal energies and what March means for you as far as the vibrations that are influencing you and what 2019 means for you, you can check out my 2019 personal year forecast readings on theblissfulknowing.com. That's my website. I will be linking that in the comments. And once again, we have a couple spots left if you'd like to join us this Sunday for our private weekly guidance, because we're not doing a public one this week. So if you'd like to join us for our private live stream, we do a group reading with the cards, similar to what we do here every week. And then I look at your birthday information, and everybody has an opportunity to message me with the topic or question that they want to know more about for their reading. So I'll look at your birthday information and let you know if there's anything popping up there as far as what's influencing you. And then I will ask the cards about your question. I will channel information regarding your question. And then I have something so cool. I don't know if you guys are in the Good Vibe Tribe group, you would have seen this post, but I have this amazing guidance board that we started using last week, which is last month, which is so interesting to me because I wasn't sure how everything was going to play out. We used the guidance board for everybody that participated in February's live stream. And since then, I've done private sessions with a lot of you from that live stream. And it turns out that the guidance that came through the board was really, really accurate. So that's exciting to me because it's got all these different categories like career, romance, family, spiritual path, psychic development, all kinds of stuff, life purpose, finances. So I let everybody pick a category from the board, and then I get an answer that way too. So it's been like really well-rounded readings because you're getting the cards, the numerology, the channel guidance, and the guidance board. So if you'd like to join us, I will put a link to the tickets. There's only 3 spots left right now. And I think there's one person who's already wanting to buy a ticket. So there may only be 2 spots. I don't know. But I'm going to link everything in the comments for you guys. Oh, yay, Christy. Sorry, guys. I didn't get to read your comments. I've been in a trance because I'm trying to hurry because I've got the timer set and I don't want it to go beeping. All right, so that's it. I think I filled you guys in on everything. I'm going to link you also to my post for March so you can read the details about March's energies. So I think I gave you everything. I hope to see you Sunday for our private live stream event. If not, I hope to be back next week with our public weekly guidance. If you missed last week's weekly guidance, it was on Sunday, so I can link you to that too. All right, I'll talk to you guys later, and I hope you have a great weekend, and I hope to see you on Sunday. Bye.